And we are live. So let me just get things set up here on 93.5. That rhymes, by the way. Okay. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's yours truly Squeeze on 93.5 WVIP FM. And it's time for Cruising with the Case Handler. As we do it, we're giving you some music right here in the morning, but it's time to do something a little bit different. So try not to work with that dude they call Murphy's Law. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful night. I'm very happy in a morbid situation where, I see the daily deaths, i.e. the pandemic is actually going down. So I'm very, very happy to see that's going down. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned with us. We've got a lot to share with you right here on obviously 93.5 WVIP FM. And right now, I have got the attorneys on, okay? I have revved up what it is that's called Cruising with the Case Handler. I will be actually asking a favor of everyone right now. Everyone that is actually listening to us on 93.5 WVIP, welcome to Cruising with the Case Handler. Each and every single weekday morning at 8:30. It happens on 93.5. It happens on Facebook. Now, it happens on Facebook at my page, David Squeeze Annakie, also the Case Handler page, and also PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying to each and every one right now that's listening to the radio, maybe it's time, if you're home, to switch over to Facebook. I'm going to start doing that because you're not in your car. So switch over to Facebook. You'll see what this beautiful, handsome team looks like. Okay. All right. I won't tell you which is the better looking one here. Everybody's smiling as if it's them,
Maestro.
It's you, Squeeze. It's you.
So I'm saying switch over to Facebook. You have multiple pages you can go to. David Squeeze Annakie, the Case Handler, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. We are ready, willing, and able to answer your immigration questions. And we are also ready to answer your personal injury questions. And we're going to have personal injury talk, immigration talk. I'm quite sure the maestro, of course, Conrad Pollack, a partner at the firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, right here on Cruising the Case Handler, has a lot to say about your friend, Donald Trump. Get him started. I should get him started. Donald Trump, okay, who has suspended immigration to the United States. What an asphalt. All right. So before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, I need everyone also on Facebook to start sharing. Start sharing what it is that you're watching. If you believe that someone can benefit from this talk show that we're about to do, where you can get your immigration questions answered, why not share it on someone's page? Why not share it in a group? Why not share it on your timeline? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready, willing, and able to answer your questions. We've got quite a few questions already in the queue, and we need for you to put your questions here. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are here every weekday at 8:30 a.m. Yes, weekdays, and on Saturdays at 7 p.m., Sundays at 12 noon. Once again, we have Adam Handler, the case handler himself, the man who has settled well over $100 million for his clients over the past 15 years. We've got Conrad Pollack, a partner in the firm at Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, right here on the case handler team. We've also got Nelson Madrid, also the top gun, I call him. All right. So any one of you out there who have had run-ins with the law, whether it's small or huge or gigantic run-ins with the law, and you're having issues, or you want to file for your citizenship, or you want to get your green card, or you want to get out of your removal proceedings, you need to go with the Maverick, aka Nelson Madrid. All right. Hope the other guys don't get jealous of me pushing Nelson, because I'm only doing that because I know a lot of people out there who have just thrown their hands up and said, that's it. I've screwed up in the past. I can't do anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. All right. So, gentlemen, let's just get things going right now. Adam Handler, as always, I always ask for you to jump it off. Okay. The community knows you. So, how you doing today, man?
Oh, listen, we're doing. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day, and we're getting through the week. Like you said, we're getting some pretty positive news about some changes. The flattening of the curve, hospitalizations are going down, ventilator use is going down. So, we are getting through this. But I was saying to Conrad before, I think we're all mistaken if we don't think that there's going to be a new normal. And we just are counting down the days until we can get back into our office. You know, we're located downtown 225 Broadway, which we always tout is an amazing location because all the subways, I don't care where you live,
Yeah,
New York City area, every single subway or bus, you know, comes down to us. But for right now, we're all working remotely. We're doing the consultations remotely. I'm settling cases remotely. Myself and Matt Goodstein, we're doing depositions remotely, mediations remotely. They're going to start doing court meetings with judges remotely. So we're doing everything that we can from our own home offices. But I cannot wait until we get back to those, you know, to those wonderful, beautiful offices down at 225 Broadway on the 3rd floor. But it's going to be different. You know, are we going to be wearing masks? How many people could we have in our waiting room? I mean, anybody that's been down to our office knows that we've got a gorgeous waiting room, and it's usually, thankfully, filled with people coming in for honest answers to their legal questions. But, you know, can we have a room full of people like that? You know, do we have to schedule specific times and make them keep those times to make sure we're socially distanced? So we're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to figure a way to get back to business as usual. But the most important thing everybody out there can understand, and I can't stress this enough, listen up, guys. We are here. We are here as your attorneys. We're here to fight for you. We're here to make sure you're not the victim twice. We're here to help you obtain justice, whether it's the civil system, and that's monetary compensation, big money for those life-changing injuries, if God forbid you're in an accident, or immigration. You know, if you've got an immigration question or if you've got an immigration problem, you know, you got to get it right the first time. We say this all the time, and I can't stress enough. You got to get it right the first time. There are most likely, especially in personal injury, there are no redos. But in immigration, there probably, let's call it, there are no redos. You may have a chance of fixing a mistake, but get it right the first time. One chance, one choice. Your case handler team at Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. That's why we're doing this. We're giving back to the community. We're on the radio, on the air every day. We're moving our stools around, you know, creating all kind of crazy noise, just, you know, pouring coffee, making breakfast. You know, we're doing these things because we want to make sure people understand that there's attorneys that are going to fight for you and family. We want to make sure that people understand there's attorneys that are looking to give back to the community. That's why we're up every day doing this on the radio, getting people pumped up. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're answering your immigration questions, not only on this platform, but on the phone after the show. For how much are we doing it for, Conrad? How much are we charging our clients for consultations right now?
Big zero. Not a dollar.
Have you ever done that before? Has any law firm done that before?
It's been quite a long time since we've given out free consultations. I'd say going back to the 1980s. It's probably been that long. But, you know, and if I can interrupt you, Adam,
Go ahead.
This is truly our way of giving back to the community. You know, for each, and I'm speaking for all of us now, immigration and the immigrant community in New York and in fact in the country has really, speaking for my own life, practice of immigration law, it's been in my family for 50 years, between my dad and myself, and it's made a wonderful life for me, for my family, for my parents. So this is a small way of giving back, saying thank you, and basically doing whatever I can, whatever my firm can do to help and make what's going on out there around us a little more, a little easier to deal with. In fact, you know, along those lines, my office manager just texted me 5 minutes ago from a client. Your firm has been the backbone of our family. It goes way back into the late 70s with my dad and my sister, then her children in the 1980s, and then their friends in the 1990s. You helped me in 1985 and so on. I graduated and received a professional license because I had the opportunity to become a resident. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's beautiful.
When I receive messages, and that's on our Facebook page, when I receive messages like that, it really does make this all worthwhile. I mean, this is our way of contributing to our society, our way of helping people advance their lives and realize the goals that they've set for themselves and for their family. And again, reading something like that really honestly makes it all worthwhile, and makes it work, and makes it as difficult as I've said every day, as difficult it is for me to get up to do this every morning. Yeah, it really does make it worthwhile. So I'm happy to see things like that. So
absolutely,
I'm hoping there'll be more.
Definitely. Oh, there will be a lot more. Once again, folks, if you're just joining us, this is Cruising with the Case Handler, 8:30 weekdays right here at 93.5 WVIP FM, and also on Facebook on the Case Handler page and David Squeeze Annakie's page. We got a reminder, this is a conduit for you to get your immigration questions and also, of course, get help with personal injury. God forbid you get into an accident, slip and fall, medical malpractice, construction accident, and much more. Let's see, we got the Squeeze team up on Facebook already saying, excellent idea, Squeeze. And also, I'm jumping it right off. Here's a question on Facebook from Kimara. Kimara says, how long after you respond to the RFE do you get a response?
That's a good question. Depends on what the well, first off, an RFE is a request for additional documentation. After you submit an application to the Immigration Service, whatever the application might be, sometimes you don't submit enough documentation, or, as has become very common under this administration, immigration just sends a request for more documentation, whether they need it or not. They just try, it's their way of making things more difficult these days. But in answer to the question, really depends on what the RFE was for. The RFE could have been asking just for additional photos or a new medical exam, or they could have been asking for birth certificates or proof of financial support. It really depends on the circumstances. But these days, since immigration for the most part is closed, I would assume it'll take a couple of months for a response. I mean, that's probably the best answer I could give at this point.
Can I just add something to that?
Absolutely, you can. By the way, Nelson, that was Conrad Pollack's people who just spoke, the maestro. Here is Nelson Madrid, the Maverick. Go ahead.
To put a positive spin on it, an RFE means someone is actually working on your case. Okay, someone is actually working on your case, reviewed the case, and for whatever reason, they're asking for additional documents. So again, that's a positive because again, someone actually has your file and looked at your file. So in my opinion, some news is better than no news. As Conrad said, there is no definitive time to receive an answer after they issue a request for evidence. But again, from a positive perspective, that means someone is working on your case.
And there you have it, the glass half full and the glass half empty.
I like that about this firm, man. Cruising with a case now it's 17 minutes before the hour. I want to say something before we get on to the next question, or before we speak with the case handler himself. Everyone that's tuning into the show, we made an announcement last week, and it still stands. Every single person listening to the show, anyone in the tri-state area, beyond, it doesn't matter where you are, immigration is federal. Guess what, folks? Cruising with the Case Handler and the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico has decided to give every single human being who need immigration help, a free consultation. Now, once again, like I said, and I'm saying it again, nothing lasts forever. So if you would like to get yourself a free consultation, all right, it would behoove me. Okay.
Good word. Good word.
You love that word.
Okay, I love that word. Okay, now to tell you to call this number now. So right now, right this second, what day is today, Adam?
Hump day, baby.
Wednesday. Everybody call. This show is live. This is not a tape. We're running a live show. Every single one of you who need to get your immigration questions answered, call this number now. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Make the call. You can get that free consultation today. You can get it tomorrow. You can get it next week. You can get it next month. But make sure you are on the list, okay? So this way, I can defend you. God forbid any one of them come back and squeeze. There's way too many consultations. We're going to have to slow it down. So I got your back. No, they won't do that. I want for everyone right now to call this number, 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPIDLAW. That's the number you call when you get hurt in an accident. That's the number you call when you want to have your immigration questions answered. If you don't need the help now, dial the number, let it ring 15, 20 seconds, Store the number in your phone, and hopefully you don't need it. But if you do, make sure that you dial that number for immigration, for personal injury. And if you want to get a free consultation, make the link right now, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Getting back to immigration questions shortly, but let's just touch base with Adam Handler as to what's happening in the personal injury world. Maybe he has a testimony for us. Don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, yesterday, if today's Wednesday, that means yesterday was Tuesday. And we always post what we call Testimonial Tuesday on Facebook and Instagram. You know how we do. And it's a true life success story. You know, we're out here, we're talking about our cases, we're talking about our results, we're talking about, you know, the wonderful things we do for people. But it's not just talk, it's real life. And what we do is we make sure that, to the extent possible, even harder these days, you know, we get a nice picture with the client, with the check, and we do a case review. Phone lines are blowing up right now. We do a case review, and we try to figure a way to get the message out to the people that these are you know, real success stories. And we posted a testimony this morning. Actually, we were a little late. You know, we've been, you know, inundated with these phone calls, which is an unbelievable thing. So, you know, maybe the attention to the Testimonial Tuesday, you know, suffered a little bit. But the most important question is we're getting the message out. And if we can just, I'm going to share my screen here, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, man.
I really just love what Ruthie does with this stuff. You know, this is a case we talked about a couple of months ago when we first started doing the Case Handler show, the Cruising with the Case Handler show. And this was a very, very serious case. And you know, I hate reading quotes about myself. So
I got it. Okay, so here's a quote. By the way, this is on the casehandler.com's page, all right? And it says here under the case results, the one that Adam just pulled up. So if you're out there and you're not on Facebook, go to Facebook, the Case Handler, or David Squeeze Annakie. It says here on this true success story, I got the most excellent service. I'm so appreciative because Adam worked so hard for me. I give the Case Handler team the highest recommendation. I am forever thankful to the whole firm. Thank you, Carla from Brooklyn, obviously New York. 270,000 greenbacks, AKA US dollars. That's what I'm talking about, AKA tax-free dollars. Okay, Adam, you're a true little man. Talk to me.
Yeah, this was a crazy case. Very briefly, you know, this is a woman that rented an apartment out in Brooklyn, and she was complaining to her landlord for a good amount of time that she would smell gas, and sometimes the burners wouldn't even work. And he said, yeah, I'll get to it when I can. I'll try to fix it when I can. And one day back in July of 2018, she's preparing dinner. She's making a big vat of chicken, and she's frying it up. And all of a sudden, a huge fireball shoots out of the stove, and she catches fire. The window treatments catch fire, and her daughter runs in. And dumps a vase of water on her. She had actually just recently graduated high school or college, I forget, and dumps the water. And they call the police, they call the ambulance, and this woman is being wheeled out with burns all on her arm, burns all on her leg. And as she's being wheeled out of the apartment, the landlord is wheeling the stove out of the apartment. So she's going into an ambulance. He's taking the stove and putting it on his pickup truck, and he drives away and disposes of it within literally hours of the accident. Make a long story short, it was a very difficult case to prove because we didn't have the stove. We didn't have the ability to show what was faulty with the stove. But there are evidentiary ramifications when a defendant, destroys or, it's called spoliation evidence. The maximum she could have received was $300,000, but it would have taken probably about 1.5 years to run through that. And also, again, it wasn't a sure thing. We couldn't absolutely prove, that the accident happened the way she did, because the initial forensics from the fire marshal did show that it was just, they labeled it as a grease fire, which of course the landlord wouldn't be responsible for. But the reason why the grease caught fire is because the stove was faulty. So we had some issues there, but we got an amazing result. She was absolutely thrilled. Her scars healed, very, very well, barely noticeable now, but she went through a lot. And the most important thing that I think I can express here is that we kept fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And we did a wonderful job for her. We hope to have her on the radio one day because she's just a wonderful person, very animated, and I'm sure she'll say some incredible things about her experience with the case handler team. So a wonderful testimony, but you know what? It's just these quotes I love. You need somebody to fight for you, and that person is Adam. And that's what I've pledged to do. I pledge to fight for you like family. I pledge to fight for you like it's my only case, my most important case. So thank you so much for letting me be your lawyer, and we move on to the next one. But you know what? That's what we do here at PPID, Pollack, Isaac, DeSico. It's not just personal injury. It's not just immigration. We're a full-service law firm, criminal defense, employment, real estate. We do appellate work, matrimonial, everything. So if, God forbid, you have a legal need, there should be one number that you're calling, one number that you're considering calling. 844-774-3529 or 844-PPID-LAW. We're happy to help you. We're happy to treat you with respect, and we're happy to do our best to bring the most successful result we can for you.
Absolutely. Once again, folks, Cruising with a Case Handler, 8:30 weekdays right here at 93.5 WVIP. Also, of course, on the Case Handler page and at David Squeeze Annakie and also PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. And once again, the number to call for immigration or personal injury is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Let's jump back quickly to immigration. Maverick, Nelson Madrid, the attorney, this one is for you. This lady contacted us recently. She says here on Facebook, "Good morning, guys. I had asked a few days ago if my case can be open after a deportation order. I didn't leave the country. My daughter, as I had mentioned, filed the I-130 that have been approved November of last year. Just wanted to add that I have been here in the USA from 2004, always worked and paid taxes, never got in trouble. Do you take cases if one lives in New Jersey? That's where I'm living."
Yes. I mean, and again, I thought I answered this previously, but I'll answer it again. I need more facts, right? It's just not that simple. There's thousands of people trying to get prior removal orders or deportation orders reopened. I basically have to sell your case. I have to show why you're different. As I said before, this goes back to the analogy I gave previously about pulling a tree or a plant out of the ground. The more roots it has, the harder it is to pull out. It's not just paying taxes, Squeeze. I've had many clients who say, I pay taxes. Well, how much do you claim? $5,000 a year. Okay, you're paying taxes, but nobody lives with $5,000 a year. It's not a secret. It's not a mystery. It's not a surprise that a lot of people don't like to pay taxes. These are things immigration looks at. Let me give you an example, actually. I represented someone from the Ivory Coast. Similar situation, with the exception that he married a United States citizen. He had a prior deportation order. We were able to get his case successfully reopened because he got a master's degree in chemical engineering. He was a member of his church. He, made $40,000 a year and claimed it on his tax returns. He had 3 United States citizen children. The guy was a stand-up guy, and those cases obviously are a lot easier, or, it's definitely something immigration would more carefully consider. As I said, simply saying, well, my daughter is a citizen, I've been in the United States, I need more information, but based on what I heard, yes, it is possible. Yes, we do cases in New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. I've actually flown to Texas to fight a deportation case. So, as you said at the top of the hour, immigration law is federal law. That means if you're licensed in New York, you can actually go to other states and represent individuals in other states. In fact, someone just retained us yesterday. The people live in North Carolina. So I will be in North Carolina on June 10th on an immigration case.
Assuming they're open.
Yeah,
assuming they're open. So I mean, again, I need more facts. Just telling me 2 or 3, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. When you meet a client, you flush out a lot of the facts during that consultation. That's why it's so important to speak to somebody. It's not good. It's not a good practice to give somebody legal advice after speaking to them for a minute or two. You need a little more time. I need more facts. Okay. But again, it is doable, you know, assuming she entered with a tourist visa, which is what I imagine because she left that part out. Yes, if her daughter is a citizen, she would be eligible for adjustment of status. However, immigration is going to want to know more, you know, more than just those 2 or 3 things.
Gotcha. Once again, folks, Nelson Madrid, the immigration attorney at the law firm right now, we call him Maverick. And what I wanted to actually remind everyone that Nelson has handled a lot of complicated cases where removal proceedings are concerned. So if you are in deportation or believe that you'll be put, if you have had convictions, this is the law firm that you need. This is the attorney that you need. Nelson Madrid. We call him the Maverick. So whenever you call for your free consultations, just simply say, I want to speak with the Maverick because I had some trouble in the past before. Just ask for the Maverick. Keep it simple. You know, they don't need to know. You just want to talk with the Maverick. So everyone out there, once again, if you're in Bronx, okay, where I was bred. If you're in Brooklyn, Queens.
Where's Brooklyn at?
Yeah, where Brooklyn at? Brooklyn at Manhattan, Staten Island, Westchester, Dutchess County, okay, Rockland County, Nassau, Suffolk County. It doesn't matter where you are, ladies and gentlemen. They've got offices even in Peekskill, even in Brooklyn, and obviously Manhattan. Every one of you, you are tuning in to Link Up Radio with yours truly Squeeze, and you're listening to the case. I mean, you're listening to Cruising with the Case Handler. You're getting a free consultation. Just mention any of the names that you hear on the show, any of the attorney names, mention Squeeze's name. You can just mention 93.5 FM. It doesn't matter what show you listen to on 93.5 FM, you're getting a free consultation. But you got to dial this number now and bank your consultation. The number is 844-774-3529. Once again, everyone tuning into the radio station or Facebook, dial the number 844-774-3529. Dial the number, store the number, let them know you have got a consultation on immigration, okay? 844-774-3529. Extremely important that you get in touch with one of these immigration attorneys, Conrad Pollack, the Maestro, or Nelson Madrid, the Maverick, okay? They can and will answer your questions. It's better that you get a free consultation privately and confidentially so you can ask all the questions you want. They can get all the information out of you so that they can actually answer your question properly. And also, after that, retain them. That's all I got to tell you. Retain them. Very honest, very to the point. Retain them. Once again, the number is 844-774-3529. We are going to the top of the hour, which means we're ending the show on 93.5 FM, but we're continuing on Facebook on the Case Handler page, on David Squeeze Annakie's page, and PPID's page, Pollack, Isaac, and Nisico. I would also like to remind you, if you get hurt in an accident, there's only one man, and you only got one chance and one choice to do it right the first time. So you've got to select the case handler. If you get hurt, you've got to choose Adam Handler, your case handler. If you get hurt in an accident, a slip and fall, an automobile accident that is, slip and fall, construction accident, medical malpractice. If you get into that accident, just call the number, 844-774-3529. And this time you ask for the case handler. That's 844-774-3529. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask, the Maestro Conrad Pollack, okay, to speak on what it is that our president decided to do. So if you want more information on that, everyone on 93.5 FM, switch to Facebook real quick, David Squeeze Annakie, or the Case Handler page, or PPID's page, and you will hear what Donald Trump has done and what Conrad thinks about it. Make sure you switch now. We're going to the top of the hour. Thank you so much. 844-774-3529. Okay, Conrad, the floor is all yours before we get back to immigration questions.
Well, of course, what you're referring to is the executive order that actually hasn't been issued yet. He's been talking about it since Monday night. It hasn't happened yet, probably today or tomorrow. As is the norm with our president, I lost my train of thought. As is the norm with our president, whoever talks to him last, that will be whatever ends up in that order or in that bill. So hopefully some voices of reason will speak to him before he issues this thing. Anyway, We don't know all the details yet, but the details that are emerging are that it will apply to people that are not in the United States. So if you're here, if you have a case pending here, you're applying for adjustment through your spouse or through an employer. If you're already here, as I understand it, you can continue your case. I mean, immigration again is closed, so things have slowed down dramatically, but you can continue your case. In addition to that, it seems that the order will not apply to immediate relatives, meaning if you're a U.S. citizen and you're applying for your wife who happens to be in Jamaica, or if you're applying for your minor children who are not in the country, they will still be able to continue their cases. On the other hand, if you're applying for your parents, which are also in the immediate relative category, apparently they will not be able to come. Same if you have a green card and you're applying for your family, that you will not be able to get your family in until this ban is lifted. Same thing with employers. If an employer is applying for a green card for a prospective employee, those applications will be put on hold as well. Now, it's a 60-day ban that they're proposing, which will be reviewed after 60 days. Who knows what will happen at that point? Once the executive order is issued, I can pretty much assure you, the one thing I can assure you of right now is that it will be challenged and there will be a preliminary injunction, meaning it won't go into effect right away until there's an actual court case on the merits to see. And at that point, hopefully, it'll probably go to the Supreme Court, but hopefully the Supreme Court won't allow it to happen. But these days, who knows? Again, still very much up in the air, still a lot of details that aren't there. My own opinion, and I keep, I know I'm not supposed to be talking about politics, but this is just one more distraction. You know, Trump sees how people are so distressed by the way he's been handling this pandemic and the virus crisis. This is another way of him just distracting attention away from the terrible job that he's doing and basically putting people's attention towards something else. This is his playbook. It's unfortunate that he plays with people's lives this way, but it is what it is. But we'll see how this develops, and hopefully it won't be too disruptive of people's families. But again, I don't see it taking effect anytime soon.
Gotcha. Once again, folks, Maestro Conrad Pollack, the immigration attorney and partner at the firm. Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Once again, welcome to Cruising with the Case Handler. If you're just joining us, we're asking you to share the page that you're watching. If you do have immigration questions, please place those immigration questions in the comment box, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll read those off to the immigration attorney so they can answer that. We also have our personal injury, the case handler himself, Adam Handler, reminding you all once again, if you get hurt in an accident, you need to hire the case handler. That's my opinion. Make sure you reach out to him at 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. We're also asking you to tell your friends and ask your friends to like the pages, the case handler, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Make sure they like that page. There's a wealth of information that's forthcoming on that page. We spoke at Ruti yesterday, and she promises to, of course, put a wealth of information on that page. Very, very important page. So make sure you like and follow that page. And of course, you'll be notified when we actually go live. Conrad, you didn't say anything about the people who have overstayed. If you want to address that also.
Sure.
I mean, I think those people should actually be doing something there about that.
That doesn't have anything to do with this executive order that's going to be coming down. I mean, this is something that's been taking place just in general since this crisis developed. Basically, if you entered with a visa and your stay is about to expire, you need to apply for an extension. If you entered with a visa and your stay already expired, within reason, and I would say within reason is probably a few weeks, within a month or so, your visa expired, you still should apply for an extension. The Immigration Service has probably the only area in which they are demonstrating some leniency is in situation like that, because if you entered with a tourist visa, and typically when you enter with a tourist visa, you're permitted to stay here for 6 months. If that 6 month stay expired, and the reason you didn't leave is because you couldn't get a plane out, or you're sick and you're in the hospital, possibly with the virus, or if you're taking care of a family member, if you can document those things by whether it's hospital registration or a letter from a doctor or any such things, you can and should apply for an extension. even if your visa recently expired, it's worth a shot. You have a very good chance of getting that extension approved. So normally, if that were the case, if your visa had already expired, you have no chance. But these days, again, probably the only area that I can think of where the Immigration Service is demonstrating some leniency. So I would suggest applying for that extension. Again, assuming your stay expired recently, I would say within the past few weeks.
There you have it, folks. Once again, Cruising with the Case Handler, okay? Make sure you call us now at 844-774-3529. For all the people who would like to get themselves a free consultation, dial that number, 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-PPID-LAW. Nelson, someone here wants to know if they're out of status, if they can pick up their child at the airport. I guess the child is traveling.
Yeah. I mean, something I say often, ICE is not out there necessarily picking up everyone on the street, right? I mean, if they were doing that, they could go to certain areas and literally just, I mean, obviously there's a lot of undocumented people in certain areas of New
Nelson,
York.
can I ask you one question on that? Because I'm actually curious. Is the frequency of the detainment by ICE the same now as it was 6 months ago, or because of the virus, are they looking to pick up less people and detain less people?
Well, there's also less people out on the street. Less people are leaving their house. So I would say the frequency has somewhat decreased.
But ICE is still out there.
Right.
Let's not minimize that. They are still out there. They're not on holiday.
Right. Well, I'm not saying that they're on holiday. What I'm saying is, at least our law firm isn't getting as many calls as we once did when the city was up and running. I think there are other priorities at the moment. Again, it's not to say they won't knock on your door tomorrow, right? Because anything is possible. But I don't know that they are necessarily just actively, randomly going up to people and asking them for identification. If the person wants to pick up their child at the airport, I think they'll be fine. I've had family members accompany my clients to immigration court, sit in the back and walk out with me. So, again, I don't think that's an issue.
You don't think they're being targeted because of everything that's going on?
No, not really.
All right, not a problem. Once again, folks, Cruising with a Case Handler, Adam Handler, Conrad, Pollack, Nelson Madrid. You just heard from the Maverick himself, Nelson Madrid. All right. So here's another one. This one came in last night when I reran the show. It says, "Good evening. I want to know what is the procedure to extend," I think you answered this, Conrad, "to extend my 6 months on a B2 visa. My child was born over here with a medical condition, and he has a lot of surgeries going on, and it is very hard for me to keep traveling back and forth just to renew the 6 months. So is there any way to get extended time?"
I will actually. There's a textbook situation, the textbook example of what I was just talking about. That person needs to fill out an application, submit it to the Immigration Service, make sure the right fee is attached, and get that application into the Immigration Service, along with documentation of exactly the facts that she was just talking about. Basically, her child was born in medical complications, letter from a doctor, something from a hospital indicating that the child has been there. I would also submit a copy of a return plane ticket if they have one. But that's a textbook situation, which I would imagine immigration is going to be lenient and will provide that person with the extension she seeks. Now, whether that'll happen again after the additional 6 months are granted is anyone's guess. But I certainly think that application deserves to be approved.
Absolutely. And once again, people, remember, do call the number, okay? I see the phone lines blowing up at Pollack, Isaac, and Masico. Now, listen to me carefully, people. And I really want for you to listen to me carefully. Yes, you are getting something free. You are getting a free consultation with attorneys. However, make it a priority, seeing that you have a problem, once they answer your question, to retain them. That is the important piece. Let them go to work for you. You're dealing with a law firm that's been around for well over 50 years. So yes, they're giving you a free consultation. That's great. That's wonderful. I think that's a great thing that they're doing. But you have to play your part also. You have to play your part in making sure you do the right thing. One of the most important things, if not the most important thing, is sorting out your status here in the United States. And I'm giving you excellent attorneys, in my opinion, and I have to disclaim that.
And,
so when
and Squeeze, let me just interrupt you real quick, because we just got an awesome call, and shout out to, we'll call her Nicole, but it's close enough. Yeah. And she's watching the show. She just called for an immigration consult. She shared the page, which is so awesome. If everybody out there can do that, sharing the page is like, we do this for free, but you still got to tip the waiter, right? Share the page. That tip the waiter. That's the best way for us to spread this out.
And like and follow the page.
Absolutely. But she mentioned one thing, and this is what I love. Nelson, we call him the Maverick, but Nelson, gives real life examples of cases he's worked on and situations, and so does Conrad. Why? Because we are practicing attorneys. We are the attorneys handling your file. We are the attorneys handling your case. I'm the attorney going to court for you, doing the depositions, going to the conferences, going to the mediations, and if necessary, going to trial, standing up before that jury and explaining to the jury why they got to get it right, why they got to compensate my client fully the first time, this time around, because there are no redos. And that's what sets us apart from most other law firms out there that are advertising their services, saying they'll help you with personal injury, they'll help you with immigration, right? Your case is going to be dished off to another lawyer, a lawyer that you may not know, even maybe a paralegal. And that's what most law firms in New York and most law firms in this country do. The difference here is that we are practicing attorneys. Every partner of this firm is a practicing attorney. You don't see that very often. No, one of the attorneys just handles the books. The other attorney handles the advertising. The other attorney handles the staff. We're all practicing attorneys, and that's why we're able to come on the radio every day with real life expertise, with real advice, and again, with honest answers to your legal questions. So thank you, Nicole, for pointing that out to us. And that's something I think we need to stress over and over and over again. We are good attorneys, but we're also practicing attorneys.
And just to expand on that, Nelson earlier said he's going to North Carolina to represent one of his clients. I mean, if the courts are open, he is willing to pick up and go to where the client is. I love that. I love that. And these are the kind of attorneys that you all need. So once again, thank you so much, Nicole, for sharing the page. Thank you so much for liking and following the page. And everyone that's watching this, like and follow the pages. Look up the case handler, look up Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, look up David Squeeze Annakie, follow the pages, and also ask your questions. Some people are scared to ask questions. Don't worry about that. Plot the questions on the pages, we'll get them answered. And once
you didn't even mention that to save the client money, Nelson is riding his bike to that hearing.
He's riding his bike to
North Carolina. He's riding his bike to North Carolina.
Didn't know he was a rider.
Either that or his fighter jet, Maverick.
I wonder what the back of his jacket is going to say, Maverick.
Yeah.
Anyway, once again, people, make sure that you call the number. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Here's one on Facebook that just came in. Kajelia says, I did an AOS from April 2019, and I still haven't received anything yet. First, I want to know what an AOS is. Let me pretend. Okay.
AOS is adjustment of status, and I'm assuming she's applying for adjustment of status to get a green card through her spouse. If she applied about a year ago, I'm assuming she doesn't have an interview, and that's what she's waiting for. Typically, it was taking about a year and a half until recently for applications like that to be scheduled for interviews. She should have a work authorization. Usually work authorization comes within 6 months after filing the application. Again, normally year and a half for that process. However, with the local offices, district offices of the service being shut down, I imagine it's going to be longer than that. Hopefully she'll get an interview before the end of this year, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Once the service does reopen, there's going to be quite a backlog. So my guess is she's probably not going to get that interview until next year. So the key is to maintain her work authorization in the meantime.
Absolutely. Once again, folks, we're here in the tri-state area. It's called Cruising with the Case Handler, 8:30 weekdays, 93.5 FM, and also on Facebook, Cruising with the Case Handler. All right. Listen, here's another one. It says, hi, do I need written permission of my child's birth father to get her on E2 visa? And this one is coming from the United Kingdom.
Oh, I'm sorry, say that again.
Do I need a written permission of my child's birth father to get her on an E2 visa? And you need to tell me what an E2 visa
Oh,
is.
E2 visa, an E2 visa is a treaty investor visa. I think she might be using the wrong terminology here. An E2, if you start a business, you're coming from England, okay. Number one requirement, has to be a treaty of commerce between the United States and the United Kingdom, which there is. She needs to be coming to the United States to set up a business, whatever kind of business. It could be a restaurant, pizza place, hardware store, gas station, whatever. She would demonstrate that she's investing a certain amount of money. The consulate basically signs off on that the investment is sufficient, substantial enough, will be creating American jobs. You know, I'm simplifying, obviously. And then if she is approved, she, her husband, and their minor children under 21 could come with E2 visas. I don't really know what any other details there are, and I certainly would need a lot more facts to answer her question. So, but that's generally how the E2 process works.
Okay, and I'm quite sure we'll be talking more about intercompany visas and all of those visas and everything, the O visas, the P3, P1 visas, and all of that later on. We have a lot of people within our community who actually need the O visas and the P1 and P3 visas. So we'll talk more about that right here on this program, Cruising with the Case Handler. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're tuning. I do appreciate what I see that is happening on Facebook. And ladies and gentlemen, keep the questions coming. I notice a lot of people are getting the bravery up right now and posting their questions. The number once again is 844-777-444-3529. Once we get off, if you want to speak with an attorney, you want to get a free consultation, you can call them privately and confidentially at 844-744-3529. That's 844.
Nope.
What?
You missed the 7.
Oh, 844-744-3529.
No.
Oh.
I'm Adam Handler. I'm your case handler.
Now that's the problem.
I'm gonna take over
because you want to know what? Someone pinned the wrong number on my page here, and I'm reading it off rather than saying 844-774-3529.
There you go.
Right, I see 744. That's right. I see it.
844-774-3529. Let me unpin this.
I'm David Annakie, and I will read anything that shows up on my computer.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay.
Squeeze, I want to go back to something you just said about the type of work that we do. One thing about our firm as well, which is different than a lot of firms. Yes, we're all practicing attorneys. I'm the managing partner of the firm, and I'm the managing partner of the immigration department, but I still do work. I still see clients. I still do consultations. I still hopefully sound like I know what I'm talking about. What I've tried to do over the last 3 decades that I've been doing this, I try to gather experts around me. That's why you have somebody like Nelson Madrid, the Maverick, out there. That's why Adam is sitting there, and he is the expert on personal injury law. That's why I have my partner, Fred DeSico, who I went to college with, who is the best real estate and general business attorney I can think of. Brian Isaac, I went to law school with, that we've been together for 30 plus years, who it might be the #1 litigator in the state. In our department, in our immigration department, we have people that specialize in various, in pretty much every aspect of immigration law. So you mentioned O's and P's. We have a side of our immigration department that does nothing but employment-based visas, E2s, O1s, Ps, Hs, H1s, H2s, H3s, you name it, J1s, we do them all. That is not really something that Nelson does, because Nelson's in court. Nelson's doing deportation work, and he's traveling all around the country trying to help people to get through their deportation proceedings. We have other people handling political asylum cases, removal cases involving cancellation, meaning if you've been in the country for 10 years or more, you can apply for what's called cancellation. There are all kinds of cases out there, and we handle every single one of them. And the reason is, and it's not just me, it's not just Nelson. We have, at last count, I forget, Nelson, how many lawyers we have in the department? 12? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head either.
Wow.
So we have people doing every aspect of immigration law out there. And if you'll allow us the opportunity, well, everybody's chomping at the bit to get on this program.
Hey,
right? We've kind of monopolized the airtime, but they're all looking to get out here. So
we'll find time for them. We'll find time for them. I'm quite sure we will. Once again, folks, Cruising with the Case Handler. This has been one of my proudest decision collaborating with Adam Handler that has happened for 2020. It's a very positive twist for not just the Caribbean community, but for all communities. We're doing something that is completely different. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a show on 93.5 WVIP FM. We also have the show, ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook. On Saturdays, it's also being streamed in Florida on another radio station, 1170 WAVS. So we are expanding. We need for you, once again, to tune in every day, share the page, let people know about 93.5 FM if you're in the tri-state area, or you can actually just Google just 93.5 FM WVIP, that would pop it up. We want to share more information. You heard Conrad speaking about the gamut of attorneys that they have there at Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. So Cruising with a Case Handler is a very powerful show. And now, in my opinion, probably the most powerful show on 93.5 WVIP FM. Why? Come on, look at it. We've got so many attorneys in so many different areas helping out the community. And right now, they're extending free consultations to the community. Free consultations. So right now, make that call, dial the number 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Let me get the number correct. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Make the call, make the link, ladies and gentlemen. Speak with one of the attorneys. As I always say, privately and confidentially. Maybe you don't want to post your question on Facebook. I would love for you to do so, because maybe that question, the answer rather, will be too many people are asking the same. However, if you don't, you can actually call the firm directly at 844-774-3529. I stand corrected, all right? 844-774-3529. But the man, of course, who has done a tremendous job over the past 15 years, yes, for the Caribbean community, and yes, for more, is Adam Handler, your case handler. And I'm going to let him tell you why he has been able to settle well over $100 million for his clients, ladies and gentlemen. Adam?
Because you only have one chance to get it right, and we understand that. I'm third-generation attorney. We say this all the time. My father still practices, my grandfather practiced, and he would tell me, a good lawyer has many files. A client has one. Treat every case like it's your most important case. And if you do that, you stand the best chance at a successful result. We can never guarantee anything, right? And we Conrad said, I'm an expert in PI. Well, attorneys generally shouldn't claim they're experts at anything, but I'll say we're the closest damn thing to it. And if you come to us, you're going to see the difference, whether it's personal injury or immigration. You're going to see attorneys that are fighting for you like you're their brother, you're their cousin, you're their neighbor, because we understand you got one chance, one choice. I'm your case handler. I'm a partner of Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. We do great things here at 225 Broadway. We do great things at 844 PPID Law. We do great things on this Facebook platform. So like the page, follow the page, share the page. Let us know you care. Let us know you're out there. Let us know how we can help make a difference in your life and your family's life. That's why we've gotten over $100 million in PI. It's that enthusiasm. It's that approach. It's that dedication to the client.
Absolutely. Once again, folks, the case handler himself, Adam Handler, Kajilia says, I missed my question. Kajilia, you can always play back the show. I want to remind people that you can always play back the show. All right. She said, I mean, when she asked a question about the AOS, you can always play back the show and get the answer. But I don't know if Conrad wanted to touch on it. Said, did I-130 2018 AOS 2019 haven't heard anything yet? She's saying she missed her question on Facebook here.
Well, again, it's difficult to answer a question like that, but again, I believe she's probably applied for her spouse. She entered on a visa, it overstayed, and overstayed. If she applied for the adjustment of status, when? I'm sorry.
2018.
That was the I-130. When did she apply for the adjustment of status?
2019.
All right. So it's been about a year. As I said earlier, about a year and a half typically to get scheduled for those interviews. But now I would guess it's going to be closer to 2 years before she's scheduled. So I would recommend that she contact us directly and she can give us the details and we could provide her answers at that point.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, we handled personal injury. We handled, of course, immigration. Remember, you've only got one chance, one choice. Make the best of it. Choose the case handler. Choose, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Cruisin with the case handler each and every single weekday, 8:30 right here on 93.5 WVIP FM in New York, and also on Facebook, the case handlers page, and also, of course, PPID's page, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, and yours truly, David Squeeze Annakie. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We must remind you that this has been an attorney advertisement brought to you by the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. And also, ladies and gentlemen, prior results were not guaranteed similar outcome, but oh man, the evidence and the proof is in the pudding with these attorneys. So make sure you reach out to them. You've already seen what it is that the case handler can do. You've already heard what it is that Conrad Pollack, the maestro, and Nelson Madrid, the maverick, can do. So make sure you call them at 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. And remind people that we do a broadcast in the evening so they can follow up and watch the show and also place their questions there so we can read them off the next day. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much. Adam, we missed our IG. We haven't come up with a name for it yet, but an IG spin, IG twist, IG whatever.
We'll do it tonight.
Last evening. So we'll do it tonight at 7 p.m. where Adam Handler and myself, we link up on IG and we talk for a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes on personal injury and more. So make sure you check that out. The IG page is the case handler and my page there is David Annakie. So make sure you check that out. Nelson Madrid, Maverick, thank you so much. Conrad Pollack, Maestro, thank you so much. Adam Handler, the case handler, thank you so much. Gentlemen, tomorrow morning, 8:30 again.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Take care, Squeeze. Thanks for the endorsement.
So long.